Alright. And there's nothing more worse than defensive rock and roll. I mean better. I mean worse. How do you tell the camera to turn up? How do you tell the camera to be quiet? How do you... You know what's worse than rock and roll cameras? Or cameras with rock and roll? Or rock and roll on cameras, rather? Whoever gets it right. It's never gotten right. Cameras and rock and roll is never the right. They always show like 5 dudes on stage and their penises are blaring because it's never the guitar. They're always wearing it way up here. And they got tight ass pants. And they're just letting you look at it. It's not fair. Well, I'd like to show my penis, but her tits are over there, so I'm going to turn this way. And they're always like rocking their hair around too. They got a couple strings and things, a couple extra hair dyes, a couple tassels. And they're swinging their hair around, and the cameras are always focused right next to you. And everything you want to do right next to the guy holding the camera is say, "Oh yeah," but he's recording, so you want to be polite and hope that maybe he won't get mad, because it's always like a huge guy and like 3 other huge guys standing there. Hold on, we're filming. Like, yeah, there's titties over there. There's titties. And it's like the worst panhandle ever. Like, yeah, titties. Like, I'd totally be quiet. I don't want to go to this rock and roll concert. Fuck Poison. But it's not worse than watching 5 dudes who look extremely like, I don't know, coke erotic. I can't believe you call it homoerotic this day and age. You gotta be somewhat of a personable person at a rock concert. And believe it or not, you can't get anywhere without trying to like be personable. You got, alright, he's got hair that looks like a lady, but he's a dude that looks like a man, and he's holding a camera that says, "I can't look at that girl holding titty." And you always want to get kind of monkey-ish at a rock concert, even though the guy's telling you to stop being so loud, he's recording, and everybody else is yelling, but he's picking on you. And it's not because you're brown, and it's not because you don't look like rock and roll, it's because he's bigger than you, and he has hair that says, "I'm a bitch." Rock bitch. Look, rock bitch, out of the way. There's boobs. Yeah. Fuck you, Poison. Dude looks like a Who. Twisted Sister, whoever. Look, I went to one rock concert. They don't have rock and roll these days. They got metal concerts. They call it rock and roll, but by the time you get to the stage, you know it's metal because you get hit 15 times to get to the stage. Yeah, these guys are good. Call that shit good? Ow. It's not even on beat. It's like beat down. Remember the snare? You're supposed to be like, yay, yay, ow. Alright, fans, ow. This kind of rock and roll is this shit. There's no girls here. That's why I don't call it rock and roll. And you gotta call it metal. Because Rob Halford coined it. He was like, no, look, it's not your rock and roll, lady. Unless you got a big old lesbian friend, you ain't getting to the stage. And sometimes when you meet big lesbians out in rock and roll crowds, all you want to do is kind of like wonder if you can hit it. Like, that's a big lesbian. She's in a rock and roll crowd. She's looking at all the girls' titties. I'm trying to look at all the girls' titties too. So that lesbian might say something. That camera guy's way over there. I got hit 15 times to get to this side of the stage. But that's a big old lesbian. You know I'm going to stand right next to her. Lesbians! Lesbians! And you got it. You feel like it. You want it. But it's a rock and roll concert, so you kind of wonder. Alright, she has short hair, big thighs on her arms. Alright, big old waist, big old ass attached to her shoes. What the hell is that patch say? Ass attack. Alright, I don't know what kind of lesbian she is, but sometimes when you go to rock concerts, and you really want to like say something as an individual that says, I'm a rock and roller, but I'm also an individual, you can't really go over there with like spiky hair and hair dye or anything. You can't. It's impossible. If you have spiky hair and hair dye, you're just gonna look like everybody else. And you can't go wearing like I'm wearing right now. You can't go wearing all black, even though real men wear black. You can't do that. It's not fair. Because when you walk in and everyone's wearing black, they just look at you like, well, now they're not gonna think we're individuals. Thanks, Drone. And you're like, damn. All right. Well, I'll just get along and have fun and rub my dick against other women's asses too. Drone, ass, hole. Yeah, I'm not even gonna have fun at this concert. But when I was talking to the lesbian, I wasn't really talking to her. I had this thing in my mind where I was like talking to her, but her boobs were saying the other thing. Like, they weren't really nice boobs. They were those boobs that had a chest boobs. You know, like, they're not like boobs like here, where they'd be here, and you look at cleavage, and you look to the side, and you're like, whoa, this is a nice boob. They're like chest boobs. She's moving around. You can see this part of the boob right here. And you can see this part of the boob right here. But, like, it wasn't lopsided. It was just that she was bouncing around, and it was, you know, rock concert. You could have thought maybe her heart was on this side, but her heart wasn't on this side. It was over here. And I just looked like, yeah, I do. That Daily Bugle haircut's just not working for me. So I don't know what to do. And I wanted to say something, but then I realized that I was still trying to be an individual with black clothes constantly. Like, how am I going to be an individual at a rock concert? I know, I'll rave. Everyone's looking at me like, it's a rock concert. I'm like, yeah, but all you guys are rubbing against each other. Get away. And I stayed away from the mosh pit, because the mosh pit had these guys that are swinging their arms like this, and it didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense. Look. One, two, three, four. They weren't really counting it up. And this guy did a ninja kick, and he did a ninja kick really high in the air. At least he thought it was really high in the air, and it looked cool because he was about 4'4", and I was really appalled at everything rock and roll. There was no goodness to it. It was 4'4", ninja kick. Yeah, it looked like a skyscraper to you, but to me, pal, that lesbian chick over there could stomp you under her big toe. That's right under her chin. It's a beard. It just looks like a toe. Alright, well, I would say enough about rock concerts except for this. By the time that the camera panned over to the lesbian, the only thing I saw when I watched the rock concert video documentary was this. Ow! Ow! I'm trying to talk to a lesbian! And people thought I was dancing, so I looked cool. There's this whole thing about camera work when you go to shows. You get a camera and you get the work done right, but most people bring their own cameras. They just look around and go, yeah, that was nice, that was a good joke, click, but how are you going to remember it? How are you going to remember the joke? You know, he said something funny there, look, I took a picture of it. Yeah, good joke. I don't want you at my show. Ever. Now, all the other people, they can bring cameras. They got recorded. Remember the big VCR ones? You put in the tape, right? Like the tape, or whichever, however you load tape in, you put it up there and you record it, and the guy sits there like this, and he records the whole damn show. And it's funny because you can hear the jokes. It's not like that asshole over there taking pictures and no one's gonna understand. But you got to try and get a good camera for the shows. And if you never have a camera there, you're never going to understand what you said. Or learn how to write down your own jokes. Because sometimes you just free-wing it. You're just like the lesbians. Seagulls or some shit. And you try the best you can to get everybody there. And you're like, did you bring a camera? Why did you bring the Polaroid? Did you bring a camera? Why did you bring the digital?